Good morning, sir. This is my report. 1.10.2 1,000 volts nominal or less. 1.10.2.1 Species about electrical equipment. Sufficient access and working space shall be provided and maintained about all electrical equipment to permit ready and safe operation and maintenance of such equipment. A. Working space. Working space for equipment operating at 1,000 volts nominal or less to ground and likely to require examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance, while energized shall comply with the dimensions of 1.10.2.1, A1, A2, and A3 or as required or permitted elsewhere in this code. 1. Depth of working space. The depth of the working space in the direction of live part shall not be less than specified in Table 1.10.2.1 A1 unless the requirements of 1.10.2.1 A1, A1B, or A1C are met. Distances shall be measured from the exposed live parts from the three heights of working space. The workspace shall be clear and extend from the grade, floor, or platform to the height required by 1.10.2.1e within the height requirements of the section. Other requirement that is associated with the electrical installation and is located above or below the electrical equipment shall be permitted to extend not more than 150 mm beyond the front of the electrical equipment. A. Dead front assemblies. Working space shall not be required in the back of side or sides of assemblies, such as dead front switchboards, switchgear, or motor control centers, where all connections and all renewable or adjustable parts, such as fuses or switches, are accessible from locations other than the back of sides, where rear access is required to work on non-electrical parts on the back of enclosed equipment. A minimum horizontal working space of 750 mm shall be provided. B. Low voltage. Smaller working spaces shall be permitted where all exposed live parts operate at not greater than 30 volts ms, 42 volts peak, or 60 volts DC. C. Existing buildings. In existing buildings where electrical equipment is being replaced, condition to working clearance shall be permitted between dead front switchboards, switchgear, panel boards, or motor control centers located across the aisles from each other where conditions of maintenance and supervision ensure that written procedures have been adopted to prohibit equipment on both sides of the aisles from being opened at the same time. Unlicensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner who are authorized will service the installation. This indicates that in working electrical works, you must have a deep working space to ensure the safety of the workers, and in different assembles in working space, it shall not be in the back or sides of assembles. It must be in the front of the assemble and have a horizontal working space minimum of 750 mm shall be provided. Number 2. Width of the working space. The width of the working space in front of the electrical equipment shall be the width of the equipment or 750 mm, whichever is greater. In all cases, the workspace shall permit at least a 90-degree opening of equipment doors or height panels. Number 3. Height of working space. The workspace shall be clear and extend from the grade, floor, or platform to the height required by 1.10.2.1e within the height requirements of this section. Other equipment that is associated with the electrical installation and is located above or below the electrical equipment shall be permitted to extend not more than 150 mm beyond the front of the electrical equipment. Exception number 1. Non-existent dwelling units, service, equipment, or panel boards that do not exceed 200 amperes shall be permitted in species where the height of the working space is less than 2,000 mm. Exception 2. Meters that are installed in meter sockets shall be permitted to extend beyond the other equipment. The meter socket shall be required to follow the rules of this section. Exception 3. On battery systems mounted on open rack, the top clearance shall comply with the 4.80.1.10d. This phase indicates the width and height of working space. The width of working space is 750 mm and shall permit at least a 90-degree opening of equipment doors, and the height of the working space is not more than 150 mm beyond the front of the electrical equipment. Condition number 2. Expose live parts on one side of the working space and the grounded parts on the other side of the working space. Concrete, brick, or tile walls shall be considered as grounded. Condition 3. Expose live parts on both sides of the working space. Number 4. Limited access where equipment operating at 1000 volts nominal or less to ground and likely to require examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance while energized is required by installation instructions or function to be located in a space with limited access. All of the following shall apply. A. Where equipment is installed above a lay-in ceiling, there shall be an opening not smaller than 515 mm times 515 mm, or in a crawl space, there shall be an accessible opening not smaller than 559 mm times 762 mm. B. The width of the working space shall be the width of the equipment enclosure of a minimum of 762 mm, whichever is greater. All enclosure doors or hand panels shall be capable of opening a minimum of 90 degrees. D. The space in front of enclosure shall comply with the depth requirements of Table 1.10.2.1a1. The maximum height of the working space shall be the height necessary to install installment in the limited space. Or horizontal ceiling, structural member, or access panel shall be permitted in this space. Number 5. Separation from high voltage equipment, where switches, cutouts, or other equipment operating at 1000 volts nominal or less are installed in a vault, room, or enclosure where there are exposed live parts or exposed wiring operating over 1000 volts nominal. The high voltage equipment shall be effectively separated from the space occupied by the low voltage equipment by a suitable partition, fence, or screen. B. Clear space. Working space required by this section shall not be used for storage. When normally enclosed, live parts are exposed for inspection or servicing. The working space, if in a passageway or general open space, shall be suitably guarded. C. Entrance to working space. Number 1. Minimum required at least one entrance of sufficient area shall be provided to give access to working space about electrical equipment. This indicates the limited access areas if the electrical equipment is located in a tight or restricted space, like above a ceiling or in a crawl space. The following must be provided. Adequate openings. Minimum opening size must be 559 mm x 559 mm above ceilings or 559 mm x 762 mm in a crawl space. Working space width must be at least the width of the equipment or 762 mm, whichever is larger. Door panels must open at least 90 degrees. Front clearance. The space in front of the equipment must meet the requirements from the electrical code table. Ceiling structures in the limited space are allowed in working area. Separating from high voltage equipment. If low voltage equipment is installed in the same room as high voltage equipment, they must be separated by a partition, fence, or screen to keep workers safe. In clear space, the working space around electrical equipment cannot be used for storage. If equipment must be opened for servicing in a hallway or open space, it must be guarded to keep people out. In entrance requirements, there must be at least one safe entrance that allows easy access to the electrical equipment and its working space. Number 2. Large equipment. For equipment rated 1200 amperes or more that contains broadcast devices, switching devices, or control devices, there shall be one entrance to the required working space, not less than 600 mm wide and 200 mm high, and each of the working space. Where the entrance has a personal doors, the door shall open in the direction of degrees and be equipped with panic bars, pressure plates, or other devices that are normally latched but open under simple pressure. A single entrance to the required working space shall be permitted where either of the conditions in 1.10.2.1 C2A or C2B is met. A. An obstructed exit where the location permits a continuous and obstructed way of exit travel. A single entrance to the working space shall be permitted. B. Extra working space where the depth of the working space is twice that required by 1.10.2.1 E1A. Single entrance shall be permitted. It shall be located so that the distance from the equipment to the nearest edge of entrance is not less than the minimum clear distance specified in Table 1.10.2.1 A1 for equipment operating at voltage in that condition. Number 3. Personal doors, where equipment rated 800A or more that contains overcurrent devices, switching devices, or control devices is installed under its personal doors intended for entrance to and degrees from the working space less than 7,600 mm from the nearest edge of the working space. The door shall open in a direction of degrees and be equipped with the listed panic hardware. D. Illumination. Illumination shall be provided for all working spaces about service equipment, switchboards, switchgears, panel boards, or motor control centers installed indoors. Additional lighting outlet shall not be required where the workspace is illuminated by an adjacent light source or as permitted by 2.10.3.21 A1 exception number 1 for switch receptacles. E. Dedicated equipment space. All switchboards, switchgears, panel boards, distribution boards, and motor control centers shall be located in dedicated spaces and protected from damage. Exception: control equipment that by its bare nature or because of the rules of the code must be adjacent to or within sight of its operating machinery shall be permitted in these locations. Number 1. Indoor. Indoor installation shall comply with 1.10.2.1 F1 and through F1D. A. Dedicated electrical space. The space equal to the width and depth of the equipment and extending from the floor to a height of 1,800 mm above the equipment or to the structural ceiling. Whichever is lower shall be dedicated to the electrical. Large equipment indicate that if the electrical equipment is very large, the work area in front of it must have at least one entrance. The 600 mm must have 2 feet wide and the 2000 mm must have 6.5 feet high. In illumination, workspaces around electrical equipment must be well lit. Extra lights are not needed if there is already enough nearby lighting. And in indoor installation must follow rules. The space must be kept clear to protect the equipment and allow safe work. B. Foreign systems. The area above the dedicated space required by 1.10.2.1 F1 A shall be permitted to contain foreign systems provided protection is installed to avoid damage to the electrical equipment from the condension, leaks, or breaks in such foreign system. C. Sprinkler protection. Sprinkler protection shall be permitted for the dedicated space where the piping complies with the section. Letter D. Suspended ceilings. A drop suspended or similar ceiling that does not add strain to the building structure shall not be considered a structural ceiling. Number 2. Outdoor. Outdoor installation shall comply with 1.10.1.26 E2A and B. A. Installation requirements. Outdoor electrical equipment shall be following. 1. Installed in identified enclosures. 2. Protected from accidental contact by unauthorized personnel or by vehicular traffic. 3. Protected from accidental spillage or leakage from piping systems. D. Workspace. The working clearance space shall include the zone described in 1.10.2.1a. No architectural appurtenance or other equipment shall be located in this zone. Exception. Structural overhangs or roofs extension shall be permitted in each zone. C. Dedicated equipment space. The space equal to the width and depth of the equipment and extending from grade to a height of 1,800 mm above the equipment shall be dedicated to the electrical installation. No piping or other equipment foreign to the electrical installation shall be located in this zone. If lack electrical equipment, rooms or enclosures. Electrical equipment, rooms or enclosures housing electrical apparatus that are controlled by a lock shall be considered accessible to qualified persons. Guarding of live parts. Live parts guarded against accidental contact, except as elsewhere required or permitted by this code. Live parts of electrical equipment operating at 50 volts or more. This indicates the roles of indoor and outdoor. The indoor roles are nothing should be placed above electrical equipment unless it is allowed and properly protected from leaks or damage. Second, sprinkler pipes are allowed only if they follow safety rules. Third, drop or suspended ceilings do not count as structural ceilings. Outdoor rules are outdoor electrical equipment must be placed inside a proper enclosure, be protected from accidental contact by people or vehicles, be protected from leaks or spills from pipes. Rooms with electrical equipment must stay locked and only qualified can be entered. And live electrical parts must be guarded or protected so people cannot accidentally touch energized components. Number 1. By location in a room, vault or similar enclosure that is accessible only to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner. 2. By permanent substantial partitions or screens arranged so that only licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner have access to the space within reach of the live parts. In opening such practitioners or screens shall be sized and located so that persons are not likely to come into accidental contact with the live parts or to bring conducting objects into contact with them. Number 3. By location on a balcony, gallery, or platform elevated and arranged so as to exclude unqualified persons. Number 4. By elevation above the floor or other working surface are shown in 1.10.2.2 A for A or B below A. A minimum of 2000 mm for 50 volts to 300 volts between ungrounded conductors. B. A minimum of 2600 mm for 301 volts to 600 volts between undergrounded conductors. C. A minimum of 2620 mm for 601 volts to 1000 volts between ungrounded conductors. B. Prevent physical damage. In locations where the electrical equipment is likely to be exposed to physical damage, enclosures or guards shall be so arranged and of such strength as to prevent such damage. Letter C. Warning signs. Entrance to rooms and other guarded locations that contain exposed live parts shall be marked with conspicuous warning signs forbidding unqualified persons to enter. The marking shall meet the requirements in 1.10.1.21b, 1.10.2.3 enclosure types. Enclosure or other than surrounding fences or walls covered in 1.10.3.2 of switchboards, switchgear, panel boards, industrial control panels, motor control centers, meter sockets, enclosed switches, transfer switches, power outlets, circuit breakers, adjustable speed drive system, pull-out switches, portable power distribution equipment, termination boxes, general purpose transformers, fire pump controllers, fire pump motors, and motor controllers rated net over 1000 volts nominal and intended for such locations shall be marked with an enclosure type number as shown in Table 1.10.2.3. Table 1.10.2.3 shall be used for selecting these enclosures for use in specific locations other than hazardous classified location. The enclosures are not intended to protect against conditions such as condensation, icing, corrosion, and contamination that may occur within the enclosure or enter via the conduit or unsealed openings. This tells the rules on how to keep people safe from touching live electrical parts. Number 1. Keep electrical parts enclosed or out of reach. Put them inside a locked room or box that only licensed electrician can open. Use strong walls or screens so authorized people can reach them. Place them on balconies or raised platforms so unqualified people cannot access them. Last, install them high above the floor to avoid accidental contact. The required heights depend on the voltage. 2500 mm for 50 to 300 volts and 2600 mm for 301 to 600 volts and 2620 mm for 601 to 1000 volts. Number 2. Protect equipment from being damaged. Use strong enclosures or guards to prevent the equipment from being hit or damaged. Number 3. Use warning signs. Put clear warning signs on rooms or areas containing exposed electrical parts to prevent unqualified people from entering. 1.10.3 Over 1000 volts nominal. 1.10.3.1 General. Conductors and equipment used on circuits over 1000 volts nominal shall comply with Part 1.10.1 and with 1.10.3.1 through 1.10.3.12, which supplement or modified Part 1.10.1. In no case shall the provisions of this part apply to equipment on the supply side of the service point. 1.10.3.2 Enclosure for electrical installation. Electrical installation in a vault, room or closet or in an area surrounded by a wall, screen, or fence, access to which is controlled by a locks or other approved means shall be considered to be accessible to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner only. The type of enclosure used in a given case shall be designed and constructed according to the nature and degree of the hazards associated with the installation. For installation other than equipment as described in 10.3.2d, a wall, screen, or fence shall be used to enclose an outdoor electrical installation to later access by persons who are not qualified. A fence shall not be less than 2100 mm in height or a combination of 1800 mm or more of fence fabric and a 300 mm or more extension utilizing 3 or more strands or barbed wire or equivalent. The distance from the fence to live part shall be not less than given at table 1.10.3.2. See Articles 4.50 for construction requirements for transformer bolts. A. Electrical bolts. Where an electrical bolt is required or specified for conductors and equipment, 1.10.3.2 E1 to E5 shall apply. 1. Walls and roofs. The walls and roofs shall be constructed of materials that have adequate structural strength for the conditions with a minimum fire rating of 3 hours. For the purpose of this section, studs and wallboards construction shall not be permitted. 2. Floors. The floors of walls in contact with the earth shall be of concrete that is not less than 100 mm thick, but where the vault is constructed with a vacant space or other stories below it, the floor shall have adequate structural strength for the load imposed on it and a minimum fire resistance of 3 hours. Number 3. Doors. Each doorway leading into a vault from the building interior shall be provided with a tight-fitting door that has a minimum fire rating of 3 hours. It shall be permitted to have such a door for an exterior wall opening where conditions warrant. Exception to 1, 2, and 3, where the vault is protected with automatic sprinkler, water spray, carbon dioxide, or halon. Construction with a 1-hour rating shall be permitted. This indicates the general rule that tells that any wires or equipment that carry more than 1000 volts must follow the safety standards in this part of the code. Enclosures for electrical installation. If high voltage equipment is placed in a vault, room, or fence area, access must be controlled with locks or approved security and only licensed electrical practitioners or qualified people allowed to access the area. For outdoor installation, not in a vault, a wall, screen, or fence must be built to prevent unqualified people from entering, and the fence must be at least 2100 mm tall or a combination of 1000 mm fence plus 300 mm barbed wire. Electrical bolts have special construction rules. Walls and roof must be built from materials that can resist fire for at least 3 hours. and floors must be made of strong material and at least 100 mm thick. Table 1.10.3.2 Minimum distance from fence to live parts. Nominal voltage 1001 to 13,799. Minimum distance to live parts 3.5. 13,800 to 230,000. Minimum distance to live parts 4.57. Over 230,000 5.49. 4. Locks. Door shall be equipped with locks and door shall be kept locked, with access allowed only to qualified persons. Personal doors shall swing out and be equipped with panic bars, pressure plates, or other devices that are normally latched but that open under simple pressure. Table 1.10.2.3 Enclosure Selection provides a degree of protection against the following environmental conditions. Number 5. Transformers. Where a transformer is installed in a bolt as required by Article 4.50, the bolt shall be constructed in accordance with the requirements of Part 4.50.3. Letter B. Indoor installation. Number 1. In places accessible to unqualified person, indoor electrical installation that are accessible to unqualified person shall be made with metal enclosed equipment, switchgear, transformers, pole boxes, connection boxes, and other similar associated equipment shall be marked with appropriate caution signs. Opening in ventilated dry type transformers or similar openings in other equipment shall be designed so that foreign objects inserted through these openings are deflected from energized parts. Number 2. In places accessible to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner only. Indoor electrical installations considered accessible only to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner in accordance with this section shall comply with 1.10.3.5 to 1.10.3.7 and 4.90.2.4. C. Outdoor installation. Number 1. In places accessible to unqualified persons, outdoor electrical installation that are open to unqualified persons shall comply with Parts 2.25.1 to 2.25.2 and 2.25.3. This indicate that only electrical practitioner can go to the designated area and the area must have a security to always check. Number 2. In places accessible to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner only, outdoor electrical installation that have exposed live parts shall be accessible to licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner. Only in accordance with the first paragraph of the section shall be comply with 1.10.3.5 to 1.10.3.7 and 4.90.2.4. D. Enclosed equipment accessible to unqualified persons. Ventilating or similar openings in the equipment shall be designed such that foreign objects inserted through these openings are deflected from energized parts. Where exposed to physical damage from vehicular traffic, suitable guards shall be provided. Equipment located outdoors and accessible unqualified persons shall be designed such that exposed nuts or bolts cannot be readily removed, permitting access to live parts, where equipment is accessible to unqualified persons. And the bottom of the enclosure is less than 2,400 mm above the floor or grade level. The enclosure door or hinge cover shall be kept locked. Doors and covers for enclosures used solely on pole boxes, splice boxes, or junction boxes shall be locked, bolted, or screwed on. Underground box cover that weight over 45.4 kg shall be considered as meeting this requirement. 1.10.3.3 Workspace about equipment. Sufficient space shall be provided and maintained about electrical equipment to permit ready and safe operation and maintenance of such equipment. Where energized parts are exposed, the minimum clear workspace shall not less than 2,000 mm high, measured vertically from the floor or platform, or less than 900 mm wide, measured parallel to the equipment. The depth shall be as required in 1.10.3.5a. In all cases, the workspace shall permit at least the 90-degree opening of doors or hinge panels. 1.10.3.4 Entrance and access to workspace. A. Entrance. At least one entrance not less than 600 mm wide and 2000 mm high shall be provided to give access to the working space about electric equipment. Where the entrance has a personal doors, the door shall open in the direction of egress and be equipped with panic bars, pressure plates, or other devices that are normally latched but open under simple pressure. 1. Large equipment. On switchgears and control panels exceeding 1000 mm in width, there shall be one entrance at each end of the equipment. A single entrance to the required working space shall be permitted where either of the conditions in 1.10.3.4 A1 or A1B is met. A. Unobstructed exit, where the location permits a continuous, unobstructed way of exit travel. A single entrance to the working space shall be permitted. This indicates that only licensed or qualified persons may access to live parts. It only accessible on licensed electrical practitioners or qualified persons under their supervisions. This prevents untrained people from touching dangerous live parts. Equipment must be safe for unqualified persons. Any openings in electrical enclosures must block foreign objects from touching energized parts if equipment is outdoors and can be hit by vehicles. Guard must be installed. In workspace or electrical equipment, there must be enough space around equipment for safe work. If live parts are exposed, minimum workspace must be 2000 mm high and 900 mm wide. Doors should open 90 degrees for easy access. Entrance must at least 1 and 600 mm wide and 2000 mm high. B. Extra working space, where the depth of the working space is twice that required by 1.10.3.5a. A single entrance shall be permitted. It shall be located so that the distance from the equipment to the nearest edge of the entrance is not less than minimum clear distance specified in the table 1.10.3.5a for equipment operating at that voltage and in that condition. 2. Guarding, where bare energized parts at any voltage or insulated energized parts above 1000 volts nominal are located adjacent to such entrance, they shall be suitably guarded. Number 3. Personal doors, where there is personal doors indented for entrance to and egress from the working space less than 7600 mm from the nearest edge of the working space. The door shall open in the direction of egress and be equipped with listed panic hardware. B. Access. Permanent ladders or stairways shall be provided to give safe access to the working space. Armed electrical equipment installed on platforms, balconies, or mezzanine floors or in attic of roof rooms or spaces. 1.10.3.5 Workspace and guarding. A. Working space. Except as elsewhere required or permitted in this code, the minimum clear working space in the direction of access to live parts of electrical equipment shall not less than be specified in Table 1.10.3.5a. Distances shall be measured from the live parts if such are exposed, or from the enclosure front or opening if such are enclosed. B. Separation from low voltage equipment, where switches, cutouts, or other equipment operating at 1000 volts nominal or less are installed in a vault, room, or enclosure where there are exposed live parts or exposed wiring operating at 1000 volts nominal. The high voltage equipment shall be effectively separated from the space occupied by the low voltage equipment by a suitable partition, fence, or screen. This indicates that extra working space. If the working space is twice the nominal depth, you are allowed to have only one entrance. And in guarding your entrance, if there are bare live parts or insulated live parts above 1000 volts near an entrance, they must be guarded to prevent accidental contact. C. Lock rooms or enclosures. The entrance to all building, vaults, rooms, or enclosures containing exposed live parts or exposed conductors operating at over 1000 volts nominal shall be kept locked unless such entrance are under the observation of a licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner at all times. Where the voltage exceeds 1000 volts nominal, permanent and conspicuous warning signs shall be provided, reading as follows. Danger, high voltage, to keep out. D. Illumination. Illumination shall be provided for all working spaces about electrical equipment. Control by automatic means only shall be permitted. The lighting outlet shall be arranged so that persons changing lamps or making repairs in the lighting systems are not endangered by live parts or other equipment. The points of control shall be located so that persons are not likely to come in contact with any live part or moving part of the equipment while turning on the lights. E. Elevation of unguarded live parts. Unguarded live parts above working space shall be maintained at elevations not less than required by Table 1.10.3.5e. Table 1.10.3.5a. Minimum depth of core working space at electrical equipment. Nominal voltage to ground 1001 to 2500 volts. Condition 1, 900. Condition 2, 1200. Condition 3, 1500. 2501 to 9000 volts. Condition 1, 1200. Condition 2, 1500. Condition 3, 1800. 9001 to 25,000 volts. Condition 1, 1500. Condition 2, 1800. Condition 2, 2800. 25,001 to 75 kV. Condition 1, 1800. Condition 2, 2500. Condition 3, 3000. Above 75 kilovolts. Condition 1, 2500. Condition 2, 3000. Condition 3, 3700. This indicates that any room or enclosure that contains exposed live electrical parts with over 1000 volts must always be locked. It should only be opened when a licensed or qualified electrical practitioner is present. If the voltage is above 1000 volts, a warning sign must be posted. Illumination areas where electrical work is done must have proper lighting. Lights should be controlled automatically, no manual switches near danger. Lighting must be arranged so that workers can change bulbs or repair the lights without touching live electrical parts. Switches or control points should be placed where workers cannot accidentally touch live or moving equipment. Exposed live parts that are not covered must be kept high enough above the working area to prevent accidental contact. This table shows how much minimum space in millimeter must be kept in front of electrical equipment depending on the voltage and type of condition. Higher voltage, larger required clear distance for safety. Condition 1. Exposed live parts on one side of the working space and no live or grounded parts on the other side of the working space, or exposed live parts on both sides of the working space that are effectively guarded by insulating materials. Condition 2. Exposed live parts on the side of the working space and grounded parts on the other side of the working space. Concrete, brick, or tile walls shall be considered as grounded. Condition 3. Exposed live parts on both sides of the working space. Letter F. Protection of service equipment, switchgear, and industrial control assemblies. Pipes or ducts foreign to the electrical installation and requiring periodic maintenance or whose malfunction would endanger the operation of the electrical system shall not be located in the vicinity of the service equipment. Metal includes power switchgear or industrial control assemblies. Protection shall be provided where necessary to avoid damage from condensation, leaks, and breaks in such foreign system. Piping and other facilities shall not be considered foreign if provided for prior protection of the electrical installation. 1.10.3.7 Circuit conductors. Circuit conductors shall be permitted to be installed in railways, in cable trays, as metal-clad cable, bare wire cable, bus bars, or as type MB cables or conductors as provided in 3.0.2.7 and 3.0.2.9 and 3.0.2.10 and 3.0.2.20. Bare live conductor shall conform with 4.90.2.4. Insulators together with their mounting and conductors attachment were used as supports for wires. Single conductor cables or bus bars shall be capable for safety withstanding the maximum magnetic forces that would prevail when two or more conductors of a circuit were subjected to short circuit current. Exposed runs of insulated wires and cables that have a bare lead sheet or braided outer covering shall be supported in a manner designed to prevent physical damage to braid or sheet. Support for lead-covered cables shall be designed to prevent electrolysis of the sheet. 1.10.3.11 Temperature limitations at terminations. Conductors shall be permitted to be terminated based on the 90 degrees temperature rating and ampacity as given in Table 3.10.2.50C 67 through Table 3.10.250C 86 unless otherwise identified. 1.10.3.12 Inspection and Test. A. Pre-energization and operating test. Where required elsewhere in this code, the complete electrical system design, including settings for protective, switching, and control circuits, shall be prepared in advance and made available on request to the office of the building official, and shall be tested when first installed on. Pipes or ducts that are not part of the electrical system should not be placed near switchgear or control equipment, especially if they need maintenance or could leak. Leaks can cause damage or electrical faults. If pipes are installed only to protect the electrical equipment, they are allowed. Table 1.10.3.5 E. Elevation of unguarded live parts above working space. Nominal voltage between phases 1001 to 7500 volt. Elevation 3.5. 7501 to 35,000 volts. Elevation 4.57. Over 35 kilovolts. Elevation add 9.5 mm per kilovolts above 35 kilovolts. B. Test report. A test report covering the results of the test required in 1.10.3.2a shall be available to the office of the building official prior to energization and made available to those authorized to install, operate, test, and maintain the system. 1.10.4 Tunnel installation over 1000 volts nominal. 1.10.4.1 General. A. Covered. The provisions of this part shall apply to the installation and use of high voltage, power distribution, and utilization equipment that is portable, mobile or both, such as substation, trailers, cars, mobile shovels, drag lines, hoist, drills, and ridges, compressors, pumps, conveyors, underground excavators, and the like. B. Other articles. The requirements of this part shall be additional to or mandatory of those prescribed in Article 1.0 through 4.90 of this code. Special attention shall be paid to Article 2.50. C. Protection against physical damage. Conductors and cables in tunnel shall be located above the tunnel floor and so placed or guarded to protect them from physical damage. 1.10.4.2 Overcurrent protection. Motor-operated equipment shall be protected from overcurrent in accordance with Part 4.30.3 to 4.30.4 and 4.30.5. Transformers shall be protected from overcurrent in accordance with 4.50.1.3. 1.10.4.3 Conductors. High voltage conductors in tunnel shall be installed in metal conduit or other metal raceway. Types MC cable or other approved multi-conductor cable, multi-conductor portable cable shall be permitted to supply with mobile equipment. 1.10.4.4 Bonding and equipment grounding conductors. A. Grounded and bonded. All non-carrying metal parts of electrical equipment. In this table, it tells how high above the working area and protective live electrical parts must be placed for safety. This prevents workers from accidentally touching dangerous high voltage parts. Test report. Before turning on the systems, a test report must be given to the building official or electrical engineer. 1.10.4 This section explains rules for installing high voltage equipment in tunnels. 1.10.4.2 Equipment must have protection to stop too much current from flowing, which prevents overheating or fire. And all metal raceways and cable sheets shall be effectively grounded and bonded to all metal pipes and rails at the portal and all intervals not exceeding 300 mm throughout the tunnel. B. Equipment grounding conductors. An equipment grounding conductor shall be run with circuit conductors inside the metal raceway or inside the multi-conductor cable jacket. The equipment grounding conductor shall be permitted to be insulated or bare. 1.10.4.5 Transformers, switches, and electrical equipment. All transformers, switches, and motor control, motor, rectifiers, and other equipment installed below ground shall be protected from physical damage by location or guarding. 1.10.4.6 Energized parts. Bare terminals or transformers, switches, motor controllers, and other equipment shall be enclosed to prevent accidental contact with energized parts. 1.10.4.7 Ventilation System Controls. Electrical controls for the ventilation system shall be arranged so that the airflow can be reversed. 1.10.4.8 Disconnecting means a switch or circuit breaker that simultaneously opens or ungrounded conductors of the circuit shall be installed within sight of each transformer or motor location for disconnecting the transformer or motor. The switch or circuit breaker for a transformer shall have an ampere rating that less than the capacity of the transformer's supply conductors. The switch or circuit breaker for a motor shall comply with the applicable requirements of Article 4.30. 1.10.4.9 Enclosures. Enclosures for use in tunnels shall be drip-proof, weatherproof, or submersible as required by the environmental conditions. Switch or contactor enclosures shall not be used as junction boxes or as raceways for conductors feeding through or tapping off the other switches, unless the enclosures comply with 3.12.1.8, 1.10.5 Manholes and other electrical enclosures intended for personal entry. 1.10.5.1 General electrical enclosures intended for personal entry and especially fabricated for this purpose shall be of sufficient size to provide safe work space about electrical equipment with live parts that is likely to require examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance while energized. Such enclosures shall have the sufficient size to permit ready installation or withdrawal of the conductors employed without damage to conductors or to their installation. They shall comply with the provisions of this part. Exception where electrical enclosures covered by 1.10.5 are part of an industrial wiring system operating under conditions of maintenance and supervision that ensure that only licensed electrical practitioner or qualified person under the supervision of a licensed electrical practitioner monitor and supervise the system. They shall be. This indicate equipment grounding conductors or grounding wire must be installed together with circuit wires inside the metal conduit or cable. This grounding wire can be insulated or bare. 1.10.4.5 All electrical equipment installed underground must be protected from physical damage by placing in safety or adding guards. 1.10.4.6 Exposed live terminals of equipment must be covered or enclosed so workers cannot accidentally touch live parts. 1.10.4.7 Ventilation controls must be designed so that airflow can be reversed when needed. 1.10.4.8 Each transformers or motor must have a switch or circuit breaker located with sight of it. 1.10.4.9 Electrical enclosures and tunnels must be drip-proof, weatherproof, or submersible depending on condition. 1.10.5 Manhole and electrical enclosures for personal entry must be made strong and safe for workers, provide enough space to work safely around live parts, follow all safety rules in section. Permitted to be designed and installed in accordance with appropriate engineer practice. If required by the office of the building official, design documentation shall be provided. 1.10.5.2 Strength. Manholes, bolts, and their means of access shall be designed under qualified engineering supervision and shall be withstand all loads likely to be imposed on the structures. 1.10.5.3 Cabling workspace. A clear workspace not less than 900 mm wide shall be provided where cables are located on both sides and not less than 750 mm where cables are only on one side. The vertical headroom shall not less than 1800 mm unless the opening is within 300 mm. Measured horizontally of the adjacent interior side wall of the enclosure. Exception. A manhole containing only one or more of the following shall be permitted to have one of the horizontal workspace. Dimensions reduced to 600 mm where the other horizontal clear workspace is increased, so the sum of the two dimensions is not less than 1800 mm. Number 1. Optical fiber cables as covered in Article 7.70. Number 2. Power limited fire alarm circuits supplied in accordance with 7.60.3.1a. 3. Class 2 or Class 3 remote control and signaling circuits or board supplied in accordance with 7.25.3.1. 1.10.5.4 Equipment workspace, where electrical equipment with live parts that's likely to require examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance while energized is installed in a manhole. bolt or other enclosure designed for personal access. The workspace and associated requirements in 1.10.2.1 shall be made for installation operating at 1000 volts or less. Where the installation is over 1000 volts, the workspace and associated requirements in 1.10.3.5 shall be met. A manual access cover that weighs over 45 kilograms shall be considered as meeting requirements of 1.10.3.5C. 1.10.5.5 Bending space for conductors. Bending space for conductors operating at 600 volts or below shall be provided in accordance with the requirements of 3.14.2.14. Conductors operating 1000 volts shall be provided with bending space in accordance with 3.14.4.2a and 3.14.2b as applicable. All conductors shall be cabled, rack up, or arranged in a approved manner that provides ready and safe access for persons to enter for installation and maintenance. This indicates that 1.10.5.2 strength manholes and bolts must be designed by qualified engineers. 1.10.5.3 Cabling working space. There must be enough space inside the manhole or enclosure for workers to safely handle cables. 1.10.5.4 Equipment workspace. If electrical equipment inside a manhole or bolt may need servicing while energized. 1.10.5.5 Bending space for conductors. Conductors must have enough space to bend safely without damage. All conductors must be installed, supported, and arranged safely so workers can install and maintain them. 1.10.5.6 Access to manholes. A. Dimensions. Rectangular access opening shall not be less than 600 mm x 550 mm. Round access openings in the manhole shall not less than 650 mm in diameter. Exception. A manhole that has fixed ladder that does not obstruct the opening or that contains only one or more of the following shall be permitted to reduce minimum cover diameter to 600 mm. Number 1. Optical fiber cables as covered in Article 7.70. Number 2. Power limited fire alarm circuits supplied in accordance with 7.60.3.1. Number 3. Class 2 or Class 3 remote control and signaling circuits or both supplied in accordance with 7.25.3.1. B. Obstructions. Manhole openings shall be free of obstructions that can injure personnel or prevent ready egress. C. Location. Manhole openings for personnel shall be located where they are not directly above electrical equipment or conductors in the enclosures. Where this is not practicable, either a protective barrier or a fixed ladder shall be provided. D. Covers. Covers shall be over 45 kg or otherwise designed to require of use of tools to open. They shall be designed or strained so they cannot fall into the manhole or protrude sufficiently to contact electrical conductors or equipment within the manhole. E. Marking. Manhole covers shall have an identifying mark or logo that prominently indicates their function, such as electric. 1.10.5.7 Access to bolts and tunnels. A. Location. Access openings for personnel shall be located where they are not directly above electrical equipment or conductors in the enclosure. Other openings shall be permitted over equipment to facilitate installation, maintenance, or replacement of equipment. Locks. In addition to compliance with the requirements of 1.10.3.5, if applicable, access openings for personnel shall be arranged such that a person of the inside can exit when the access door is locked from the outside, or in the case of normally locking by padlock, the locking arrangements shall be such that the padlock can be closed on the locking systems to prevent locking from the outside. 1.10.5.8 Ventilation. Where manholes, tunnels, and bolts have communicating openings into enclosed areas used by the public, ventilations to open air shall be provided wherever practicable. 1.10.5.9 Guarding. Where conductors or equipment or both could be conducted by objectives falling or being pushed through a ventilating grating. Both conductors and live parts shall be protective in accordance with the requirements of 1.10.2.2 E2 or E1. 1.10.3.2 B1 depending on the voltage. 1.10.5.10 Fixed ladders. Fixed ladders shall be corrosion resistant. 1.10.5.6 indicate the following. A. Dimensions. Manhole opening must be at least 650 mm times 550 mm rectangular or 650 mm diameter round. Obstructions. Opening must not have sharp or blocking parts that can injure workers or block exit. C. Locations. Openings must not be placed directly above electrical equipment. If unavoidable, a barrier or fixed ladder must be installed. Covers must be heavy, over 45 kg or require tools to open. Marking. Cover must be clearly marked. 1.10.5.7. Location. Access openings must not be directly above electrical equipment. Locks. If the access door locks from the outside, it must be arranged so the worker inside can still exit safely.